Hello, you've just landed in the music landing zone. I'm talking about a very exciting album today. You know it, you probably love it already. It's Masayoshi Takanaka. It's 1978 Brazilian Skies. Yes. Alright, so first, if you could like, subscribe, share, bell, all those things. I'm trying to reach the music community as a whole and the Takanaka community, the fans out there. Um, that helps a ton. Thank you so much. So, you know, Takanaka, legendary guitarist, singer, songwriter, composer, bassist, um, keyboardist occasionally. You know, huge influence on city pop later on, and also then took influence from other city pop in some of his later albums. But yeah, this album, let's just start off with the immediate vibe you get off of that iconic cover art. I mean, this is probably, of his discography proper, the most famous and beloved album artwork in the discography, and for good reason. I mean, just look at him. You can see it now. He's chilling out. It's amazing. It's a truly iconic album artwork that, once again, sets you up perfectly for the vibe of the music on this record. It is the most tropical sounding Takanaka album yet. Even more than Seychelles. You know, this is directly from the beach, to the beach, about the beach. This is a beach record. It is, jazz fusiony. It's got a little bit of samba. It's got a little bit of disco. This album is chock full of excellence, and it is clear to see why this is rated as among his best albums of all time, and of course among the best albums of his so-called classic period. So, like pretty much every Takanaka album for me, I first heard this in the summer of 2023 when I was going through a little bit of a rough time, and this album, along with, the rest of his discography in some ways, although it took a while to get through it, but, and there's still one album now. I've patched up the other hole that I found in my Takanaka knowledge. So now there's only one that I've not properly listened through, which when I get to that one, I will say so that this was the one that I hadn't really listened to yet. So yeah, just really important to me and my mental health. Extremely positive vibe. Yeah. So this album is incredible. Like, I think I've said that before, but really, 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 really good. You put the needle down, you press play on Spotify, you whatever version you have or are experiencing, you get hit with Belisa Pula, which, man, I'm gonna have some interesting takes about this album as well, because as you'll see, I don't think that this is a perfect album for me, but it is very good. This track is elevated enormously by the female vocals going on here. I think they add a lot to the nostalgic feeling, and it is really just incredible. It's almost 8 minutes long, which there have been times when I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for 8 minutes of Belizapula. But there are other times where I'm like, yeah, I don't know. This could have been a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact. But at the same time, that's just personal opinion and personal preference. Um, I don't think it ruins the song at all. I don't think it's even really a knock on it. It is just personal preference. Fantastic song. Fantastic. Brazilian Skies, the self-titled track, is maybe my favorite on the album. Again, with you'll see this throughout almost completely throughout the use of these female vocals that are absolutely stunning and fantastic. Excellent performance. If you know who did who or what group, I can't really tell. It's mixed so well if it's one lady or a group. If you know who is credited for that, put it in the comments, because it is fantastic. Takanaka often brings in, just fantastic supporting musicians when he brings musicians in. So yeah, Brazilian Skies, excellent, maybe my favorite on the album. Amazing tropical vibe, got fantastic rhythmic interplay. It's just fantastic. Like, it's top tier jazz fusion, it's top tier tropical music. It's amazing vibes. It's all those things. It's Takanaka. What can I say? Track number 3, Nights. Another perfect vibe. We're pretty much on a perfect roll here. To start off the album, track 3, Nights. Just fantastic. What can you say? This is really, for me, some people might say this about track 8, but for me, Nights really is the kind of like the sun's setting on the beach, and this is the soundtrack to that. I remember Clifford, which I do have some notes for this album. Some, I'm a bit erratic, so I don't always have notes, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I remember Clifford is apparently written by Benny Golson. Never heard of him before, never checked him out, so if you're a Benny Golson enjoyer, let me know more about him. But yeah, I'm absolutely clueless on that. But the Takanaka version is good. It's great. I'd kind of lump, I remember Clifford in with Ready to Fly and Good, Bad, Old Days, with this kind of like cinematic strings and stuff going on, and emotional lead playing and all this stuff, creating this fantastic vibe. Track 5, Star Wars Samba. So if you can't see back there, I have a Star Wars thingamadoodad art piece thing, collage photos thing of Star Wars. Big Star Wars fan here. So hearing the crossover, I wonder, was this, and obviously this was composed by legendary John Williams, I wonder if this track was kind of thrown on the album as, like, kind of, how do you put it, like, marketing, because of Star Wars' giant success in Japan. If you're from North America and Europe or something like that, you might not know this. I didn't know this for a long time, being a Star Wars fan, but apparently another one of the absolute biggest regions where Star Wars blew up back in the 70s and 80s was Japan. So I wonder, yeah, was this a marketing ploy? Was this, there's a Star Wars song on the record, it was the year or however many months after the original Star Wars hit theaters. So yeah, marketing ploy, or was Takanaka a Star Wars fan? of the original movie. That would be interesting to know. That'd be something I'd ask Takanaka if I ever got the chance to ask him anything. Might be one of my top 10 questions. Were you a Star Wars fan at the beginning? Yeah, great. I mean, it's John Williams being performed by Masayoshi Takanaka. Come on. It's great. It's amazing. It's hilarious in a way. It's glorious. Yeah. And an excellent piece of history and a shining example of Star Wars in Japanese culture. Excellent. Disco B, we have the big disco track. This is cool. This is, I don't know what to tell you. This track just makes me think, wow, this guy is cool. It's amazing. I love Disco B. I'm sure you do too. The synthesizer sounds on here are perfectly disco, perfectly reminiscent of the era that it's from, which, makes sense. Great stuff. Track 7, Funky Holo Holo Bird. I got a notification there. Oops. Funky Holo Holo Bird. Another just fantastic track. I always kind of imagine this little songbird singing Takanaka's lead that he's playing there at the anyway, yeah, joyful. I get the pictures of the songbirds in the tropics and the excellent vibes here. And the final track, maybe I'll attempt to pronounce this. It'll be super butchered. Again, I don't know if this is Japanese or if it's because Takanaka sometimes throws tracks with other languages than Japanese in, so Izu Amanetsu Natu Uri? Something like that. Butchered that. Closes it out. And if I had to pick a least favorite on the album, this technically might be it, but only by default, because this is a fantastic album. Yeah, so it is an amazing track still. It's gorgeous, So, yeah, my favorite tracks on the album, Belezapula, Brazilian Skies, Nights, Disco B, probably are a little bit of a cut above the rest, but this really is another fantastic Takanaka album. Really, my only criticism is some of these tracks on some of my listens. Sometimes I'm like, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Whereas on some of my listens, I'm like, I don't need Belezapula to go on for 8 minutes, and I don't need some of the last 2 tracks to go on for however long they go on for, 6.5 minutes. But really, that's only a percentage of when I'm listening to this album do I feel that way. And I'm going to give it a rating right now. I'm going to give this a very solid, very great rating, which is 8 out of 10. Well-deserved, Masayoshi Takanaka. Amazing work. So yeah, if you're a fan of Takanaka, subscribe. I will be going through every single one of his solo albums, from Seychelles to Summer Road, 1976 to 2009, in this rambling kind of style. So yeah, if you could comment about what you think about this album and, you know, your story with it, all those kind of things. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Music Landing Zone. Peace.